Happy Black History Month, everybody. So this month we're going to learn about a new person, maybe every day. I'm not sure, every day. But we're going to use this book for inspiration as to who we should pick. Right? Yes, it's called Dream Big, Little One by Vasthi Harrison. She has a lot of great books, another one called Little Leaders. But we're going to use this book and pick the person from the book and then study about them that day. It's the first book that I got when I was pregnant with Yanni. First book I read to her when she was in my stomach. And she has grown to love this book. She'll bring it to me and ask me to read it to her in her own little way. So it just says, Dream Big, Little One. There's so much you can do. Just look at all the leaders who came before you. So day one today is going to be Mae Jemison. And it says, Mae Jemison went all the way to space. That's what most people know her for. So I've done a little bit of research on her so far, and she's actually Dr. Mae Jemison. She has another book that has Mae Jemison in it, and it says Dr. Mae Jemison. Doctor as in like physician, as in she went to medical school and was a practicing doctor before she went to NASA. Before she worked for NASA, she actually went to Stanford University and was admitted at the age of 16. And then just decided like, oh, I've done doctor, I'll be an astronaut now. So I'll make a video about all the things that we learn, and hopefully, hopefully this will be a good little journey for Yanni. Nakoa is too young, but I mean, I'm gonna say these things to her too. So we're gonna read this book and I'll make a video each day on what we are learning. Happy Black History Month. So it is later, the same day as that first clip. We still have our book here where we picked Dr. Mae Jemison as the person that we're going to study for today, right, Yanni? I tried to keep her attention with facts on YouTube via cartoon form because it was a lot of information. We're just going to tell them some things that we learned about Dr. Mae Jemison, right? Okay, I'll do it. Dr. Jemison was born in 1956 in Alabama, but her family moved to the south side of Chicago when she was like a toddler. She was like 3. She was a little girl that just always assumed or imagined that she would be in space. It was just a dream that she had, and she just always assumed that it would come true. Even though growing up in the 60s, it wasn't like there was a lot of Black women going to space. But she just felt like she was going to do it. She was very interested in sciences, and her mother and her father encouraged this. Her father was a carpenter, her mother was a teacher. They were very supportive of her love of the sciences. In school, though, whenever Mae would say that she wanted to be a scientist, she told her teacher one day, her teacher said, "Don't you mean a nurse?" I guess it was just not the norm for them to hear a little girl say that she wanted to be a scientist. So yeah, so she continued in her love for the sciences, and I would say science and art. So like the arts and science, because when she was in high school, she was a part of a modern dance group. So she loved dance as well. When she turned 16, she actually graduated high school and obtained a scholarship, and that's how she was able to go to Stanford University. Y'all, I am not impressed by a lot of things or a lot of people, but reading about this woman, I'm just like, she is like an enigma to me. Like, she is like a genius. Even hearing her talk about her life, she mentioned how a lot of things she did, she just didn't realize were like such a big deal because it was just something that she did. Like even going to college at 16, she said like she was so naive, it didn't faze her until like she became an adult, that like, wow, my parents are really letting me go to college at 16. That's kind of like not normal. Like she didn't realize that until she got older. 16, went to Stanford University, where she double majored in chemical engineering and African American studies. So she had talked about in school, majoring in engineering was difficult being Black because she felt like, or she knew the professors were kind of being biased towards her. So she said that she would like ask a question or say something in class and the professor would just ignore her and act like she wasn't there. But then a white student would ask a question and the professor would be like, "That's a very good question. Wow." And she'd be like, "I asked the same thing, but okay." So she had to deal with that at that time. So as she was entering her or nearing graduation from undergrad, she was trying to decide if her next step should be, thank you, you're so sweet. She's not trying to bite me, but she is teething. She was trying to decide if her next step should be as a dancer or as a doctor. She decided on a doctor because her mom told her, you can always dance if you're a doctor, but you can't always doctor if you're a dancer. So, as if she didn't have enough greatness already, then she went to Cornell. Cornell Medical School, and she became a doctor. So while she was in school, she went to like Kenya, Cuba, and she was a doctor there. And she interned at USC. Ow, what is going on? I'll do the second part without you because you're getting a little antsy. Okay, bye. I'll take it from here. Yeah, I'll finish it for you. Don't worry. Okay, bye. What was I saying? Okay, so she interned at USC. So when she graduated from med school, she entered the Peace Corps and she was there for 2 years, and she was stationed in Sierra Leone and Liberia as a medical officer. She did a whole bunch of great things there. I'm just giving you like bullet points of her life. There's a whole bunch of other great details if you just research it, but like I said, just the bullet points. So then when she was done with that, then she was like, now this dream of being an astronaut, now's the time. So I guess she applied to an astronaut program where there were 2,000 applicants and only 15 were chosen. And she was one of the 15. Then became the first Black woman in space. And the only reason that I think she, in her mind, it helped her to understand that it was a real possibility is because she saw Nichelle Nichols, who was an actress, and she played on Star Trek. And she is also in this book. So representation does matter. I mean, I feel like Dr. Mae Jemison had the desire and the support of parents and the mindset that she knew she was gonna go. But once she saw this Black woman on TV as an astronaut, it was like, duh, this absolutely can happen. So representation does matter. She went to space in 1992 on the STS-47. And when she went to space, she took things that she felt like represented people and groups that were excluded from those type of experiences. So she took material from like a Black dancer, and then she took some artifacts from West Africa when she was there into space, and then she took the AKA flag because it was the oldest Black sorority. So she took these things into space with her, and she tells a story of going into space and looking out the window and looking down and seeing Chicago, her hometown, from the spaceship. And I know, yes, if y'all only knew how many times I've been interrupted just to make this little video because my family won't let me be great. On the first day of Black History Month, let me be great. Dr. Jemison has this story of seeing Chicago from the window of the spaceship when she went up. And I know that had to be just like the most chilling and rewarding moment. I would have been done. I would have been fell out done because I knew that was such like a full circle moment for her. and she talks about thinking about what the little girl growing up in Chicago would think. I think that little girl would be proud. So while she was in space, she was in space for 8 days, she did research on motion sickness and bone cell research. So after she was done with NASA, check, then she retired and became a professor at Dartmouth College for environmental studies, and she started a Jemison group, which studies technology and science and how it applies to like the real world. She actually appeared on Star Trek, another full circle moment from her, I'm sure. She appeared as an actress on Star Trek as like a real life astronaut. And she started an international space camp. I feel like all of that I just said was enough for like 3 lives. And she's done all of this she got an early start, but she's done all of this, and I just feel like she's Black girl magic. So that is Dr. Mae Jemison. Not tomorrow. I'm not doing a book report every day and working full time and being a wife and being a mother to 2 babies under 2. Not every day. Another day in this month, we will use the book and we will pick another person to research, and I will record that too. I hope you enjoyed this video, and again, happy Black History Month.